Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak. Pray Allah, everybody having a great Ramadan. We want to continue off with the theme that we've been talking about for the last 5 weeks. When I become before you, praise be to Allah, dealing with why Muslims should go into business. That's going to be the first part of the cool part. Getting right into it, Imam W. Muhammad, Rahimahullah, may Allah be pleased with him, he has said, think big. Think big. Think big. In terms of business, think big. But it's all right to start small. Allah says in the Quran, seek with the means. Let's give it to you. But seek with the wealth which Allah bestowed upon thee, the home of the hereafter. Now listen to this. But seek, when you're seeking for something, you're trying to find something, right? With the wealth, your money, right? Which Allah bestowed upon you, right? Because everything comes from Allah, right? When you align with what you're supposed to do, right? The home of the hereafter. Now let's put it together. But seek with the wealth which Allah bestowed upon thee, the home of the hereafter. That's the first thing he said. Then he says, nor forget thy portion in this world. So look at this. Allah telling you, you know you're leaving here one day. You're not going to be here 300, 400 years. No, you got about 100 years at the most, 70, 80 at the most, and you're gone. It's a test. It's a test. Muslims know this. This is a test. So we got to do what we got to do while we're here. But Allah says here, but seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed on thee, the home of the hereafter. Because we got to return to Allah. Shall we come from Allah? And to Allah we shall return. So we seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed upon thee, the home of the hereafter. Then Allah goes on and says, nor forget thy portion in this world. So we got a portion in this world. We want some out of this world too. It ain't all about just trying to make it a paradise. Yeah, we want to make it a paradise because this is the test. That is our purpose. Allah said, we only created men and jinn that they may serve me. That's your purpose. Anybody ask a Muslim what his purpose? That's his purpose. That he may serve Allah. He's created to serve Allah. Every human being, no matter what nationality, was created. But everybody not aware of their purpose. But Muslims, we are aware of our purpose. But seek with the wealth which Allah has bestowed on thee, the home of the hereafter, nor forget thy portion in this world. Then Allah said, but do thou good. Behave yourself. From the day you was born to the day you come into consciousness of what's right and wrong, and to the day you die. But do thou good as Allah has been good to thee when he blessed you with the money or whatever you have. And seek not occasions for mischief in the land. Don't be out here starting trouble. For Allah loveth not those who do mischief. See, Allah wants us to be good, right? But he wants us to be happy. Allah wants us to be happy too while we living on this earth. He wants you to be good, but he wants you to be happy. That's why I tell you to seek with the wealth he bestowed upon you, the home of the hereafter. Fulfill your purpose. When he said, I only created jinn and men that they may serve me. Right? That's your purpose. But at the same time, Allah says, nor forget your portion of this life. Because there's a lot of things we want. We want nice homes. We want friendship in all walks of life. We want nice cars. We want a business to sustain so we don't have to work hard, as hard as we, want to work to have the time to do the things we want to do, right? This is what Allah wants for you. So Imam Muhammad says, see, think big. So you could think, okay, I want to own a home. No, why own a home? Own a building, 24-story building, 25-story building, with 14 or 15 apartments on each floor. You thinking big now. 15 apartments. Can you eat off of that building? You eat for the rest of your life. Because you got 25 floors and all that income coming to your pocket. Seek with the wealth Allah bestowed on thee the hereafter. But don't forget your portion in this life. You got to share too. We got to share too. I'm going to give you an example. My story. Brief. I do scrap metal and junk removal. I did it for 6 years before I legalized the business. I'm going on my 7th year. Now I legalized. I'm on Google. You can look me up at Now Scrap Metal Trash Removal Service. Yesterday, oh man, I didn't even think where I'm at. It's a miracle I'm standing here yesterday. I mean, yesterday I had calls coming in all over. I got to go pick up here. I got to go pick up here. You know, I couldn't find no work. I had to grab one of my neighbors because somebody stole his car. Somebody stole his car, so he's sitting on the porch looking all sad. I said, I already see what's up. Listen, what you do? What kind of work you do? He said, I do Uber, right? I said, I know his car's stolen, right? So he can't do Uber because his car's stolen, right? So I said, hey, you want to make it $3? You know what I'm saying? He said, well, what I'm going to make? I said, you know, you're only going to work for about an hour, so I'm going to give you $25. But it ended up being 3 hours. I gave him $60, you know what I'm saying? I gave him $60, you know, 3 hours. So I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. But back to, you know, I'm just trying to show you something. Because I was tired. I didn't think I was going to make it here. But the thing is, when I started off this business, I started off with a pickup truck. I seen it on Facebook Market. The pickup truck was $600. I said, well, wow. You know, I had the pickup truck before. I didn't know what to do with it. So I sold it to the furniture store that I was working for. And he gave it to another guy. The guy totaled the truck. I said, oh, God. I bought that truck for $125. The truck had tar in the back and everything. I took a chisel and I cleaned all that tar out of there and I took it and put it in detail. It had it shined up, man. That truck looked like brand new money. It was a Toyota Tacoma. But I didn't know what to do with it. Then, years later, I ended up buying another pickup truck. Like I said, the truck was $600 after time. When I got through talking to the guy, I got that truck for $185. I made thousands and thousands and thousands off that truck. And I only paid $185 for it. You see? Now, from that truck, the way I think, I don't want to be, even when I was on the street, I don't want to be in one area. I want to be in this. You know, when I was out there, I want to be in all areas. So I still got that thing as Muslim. I still got the same mentality. I want more. So I said, I got to get me another truck. And when I went down there, when I was cleaning up the truck, I looked over the bars. I knew an old man had the truck, right? I seen some receipts. And I started looking through the receipts. I said, well, damn, what this old man used to be into? He was into scrap metal. So I went down there, man. I sat in there, ate some corn chips and some drinking soda. And I'm looking at them guys going in and out, going in and out. I'm watching them, man, you know. There got to be some money involved with this. Let me see. So then I said, yo, what's this all about, man? What is this? He said, scrap metal. You scrappers. I said, yeah, okay. So I went to look it up, man, and everything. And I found all the information on it. So I still ain't, you know, I went around to my man, said, Dad, you think I should buy this truck? He said, man, you can make your money back off of that truck. So what I did is, I bought the truck off the guy. I got the truck, like I said, for $185. Truck ran good. I made thousands off the truck. And one day, I didn't make no money for a couple of weeks, man. One day, all the research I did, I was coming home. I was dressed too. And it was bulk day. And I seen all this stuff out there that I seen on YouTube. Man, I ran in the house, changed my clothes, right? I just started throwing refrigerator. All kinds of metal on my truck. Went down there. I ain't know where to put the stuff, right? People were teaching me. So I was just throwing stuff out because I seen them throwing it out when I was down there watching. Then I started making my money. I done made so much money off this. I never knew, if I would have knew this here years ago, I'd have done this. That I can make money off of stuff that people just discard. Throw away. I don't need it no more. Man, I said, wow, my life could have changed if I knew this when I was 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? Think. So, like I was saying, I'm an expansionist. I got an expansionist mindset. So what I did, I got me another truck, and I hired a substance abuser. I saw him walking down the street, had a weight belt on. I said, if he got a weight belt on, he don't mind, lifting and stuff. He got to walk around with a weight belt, so I hired him. We did a moving job together. I told him, I said, Dad, I got into him a little bit. I said, listen, later on, I'm going to, after he worked for me for a few weeks, I said, I'm going to get some more trucks. He didn't believe me. I said, Dick, you get your license together, I'll help you. I'll help you. He didn't believe me. All he thinking about is getting high. That's all he thinking about. Later on, I got another truck. Boom. Then I bought a big truck. Then I bought another truck. Then I bought another truck. Couple of trucks. Couple of substance abusers tore my trucks up. So I got 3 trucks now. They still run their old trucks, but I make money with them. See, I started off, the whole point, I started off like Imam Muhammad said, think big, but it's okay to start small. You understand what I'm saying? This is how this is why Muslims should go into business. We got to think. We want that 25-story building with 15 apartments on each floor. Allah said what? Don't forget that portion of this life. Right? Don't forget that portion of this life. But now, off each of those floors, you getting rent money. And it's going right here. This is why Muslims should go into business, because you control your own time when you're working for yourself. And you got the right staff, you working for yourself, you control your own time. You can do what you want. The other day, I slept in the bed. I ain't feel like getting up. When I went out, that day I made like 300. Then I made like another 200. Then that was over. I said, I'm good for the day. Boom. Then I went out the next day. I made a couple hundred. Then I made another 100. Then I made 60. Then I made, you understand what I'm saying? I control my own time. So I was able to stay in the bed and get up. And it was after the time that I'm scheduled on Google, with the time I started work. But if I had got a phone call, I would have went. Brother Kadus, Halim Kadus, he used to own a couple of appliances stores. He said, we're not trying to be social workers, because I told you I have worked with quite a few substance abusers, right? And I used to try to tell them they need to get off of drugs and this, that, and other, man. They ain't trying to hear that, man. I just want to get high. Give my money, man, so I go get my crack, man. Get my dope. That's all they want. I ain't thinking about you talking about them getting themselves together. They hear you, but they don't hear you, man. They just want to get this over with. Give me my money so I go get my stuff. Seriously, this is reality. So, Halim Kadus, right, in Economic Resurrection, he said, we're not trying to be no social worker. If you try being a social worker as a businessman, you'll end up broke. You'll end up broke. I can't tell him, joke. That's what he want to do, and he can't change. Allah said, never will he change the condition of a people until they change themselves within their own self. So he said, and I repeat, we're not trying to be no social worker. If we try being a social worker as a businessman, you'll go broke. If you want to get rich and prosper, you have to identify a want and supply that want. I identify the want. I know people need stuff taken from their property. Sometimes they need their garages cleaned out. You know, they need a place. Other day, just yesterday, I had to move 2 refrigerators. I went there and to take the refrigerator, and my man, I told you that my neighbor, he went with me. Now I get there, I charged the lady $40. She said, oh, that's cool, that's cool. I get there, man, she act like she know when the refrigerator was put in there. Oh no, you can take it out this door and this. Come to find out, this lady wasn't even there. The refrigerator was there when she came there 10 years ago. She don't know, she ain't see it. So I'm running up and down the stairs, getting tools, trying to, break this. I pulled it to the side, right? When the worker wasn't there, I said, Dig, listen, you're going to have to pay $100 for this, because, you got me running up and down the stairs. She said, well, that's a big difference, jump for $40. So, listen, you got me running up and down the stairs. You don't want me to get on a wooden floor. You don't want to scratch it up. And we got to pick this thing up and go all the way across that dining room. That's $100. Then she wanted me, oh, could you take my TV too? No, that's another $30. It's another $30. But then she told me, I give you coconut water. Man, I don't want no coconut water. I want money. But, but I took the coconut water. You know what I'm saying? And I took the TV and got rid of it for it. You know what I'm saying? But as I said previously in previous cookbars, right? Ambassadors, this is a good thing. They started off with one restaurant, right? And they identified a want in the African American community, right? They know we love chicken to this stream. They know that. We some chicken eating individuals. Everybody eat chicken, but we some chicken eating individuals. I'm telling you. So they planned, right? And they came up with ambassadors. And now they expanded, and they got, they expanded, and this is how you get rich. Like your Halim said, you identify want, right? He said, if you want to get rich and prosper, you have to identify want and supply that want. Now, I ain't talking about drugs, because we don't supply drugs. I ain't talking about no pork chops. We don't supply pork chops. Because, you got a lot of hog-eating individuals out here. They want to eat that hog from the rooter to the tutor. They want that hog. They want it bad, But we ain't supplying that. We ain't supplying no cigarettes. We know we got some stores that Muslims supply. They sell whiskey. They sell liquor. They sell cigarettes. They sell condoms. They sell all that stuff, right? That ain't what we do. That ain't what we do. We ain't supposed to do that. Assalamu alaikum. Allahumma salli ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. O Allah, exalt the true father Muhammad, exalt the true father Abraham. Truly thou art praised and magnified. For Allah, exalt the true father Muhammad that did exalt Abraham, the true father of Abraham. Truly thou art magnified. I greet you once again in degrees of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem.
Alhamdulillah. Allah says in the Quran, moving further, He says in chapter 49, Hujurat, He said, in number 13, He said, O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may come to know one another. Not that you may despise one another. Verily, listen to this part, verily the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. You see that? Verily, in the sight of Allah, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you. And Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't really matter how much money. That don't make you special, because you could buy finer clothes than the next man, or you could ride a better car than the next man, or you got a house and he may sleep in the basement. That don't make you better than the next man. Nah. You're in the sight of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who is most honored is the one who's most righteous in our sight of Allah. And what is righteousness? What is righteousness? In this part of the Qur'an, we're switching up. We're going to talk about comments on improving morals and conduct. This part. So what is righteousness? According to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in between. He makes it plain. He makes it plain in the Quran, where he says, it is not righteousness that you turn your faces to the east or the west. Yeah, I can turn my face to the east, right? And I can turn my face to the west. Is that righteousness? He said, no, but it is righteousness to believe in Allah. It's righteousness to believe in Allah. In the last day, the day of judgment, in the angels, in the book, the Quran. It didn't say books, the book, the Quran. That's what we're talking about right now. And the messengers, more than one, the messengers that came. To spend of your substance, your money, or your knowledge, or whatever you have, right? Out of love for him, Allah. For your kin, your relatives. For the orphans, those who got no mother and father. For the needy, those in need. For the wayfarer, the one who's traveling out of town and he might don't got the convenience, he got it when he was home. For those who ask, the beggars. Or those individuals who just in need. And for the ransom of slaves. Slavery don't exist right now, but some places is, exist. And then, like I was saying earlier, an individual on narcotics, they're a slave to the narcotic. So, for the ransom of the slave, you might want to, if you got it like that, you might want to pay for him to go on a program because you think you can see his wealth. You can see the potential in the individual. So you might pay for him to go on a program. So it's say for the ransom of slaves. To be steadfast in prayer, be regular in salah, and practice regular charity, zakat and sadaqah. To fulfill the contracts which he had made. When you enter into a contract, and just write it down, the Quran say, and you fulfill it. And to be firm and patient. What is patient? Knowing how to wait without complaining. That's patient. Knowing how to wait without complaining. That's patience. In pain and in suffering. Pain. Knowing how to wait. Be firm while you're in pain. And you're suffering. And adversity when things are going bad for you. You're going to be firm. And you're not going to complain. You're not going to complain. You're going to wait. And you're not going to complain. This is righteousness. And then Allah said, throughout all periods of public panic, when the epidemic broke out, COVID-19, Allah wants you to be what? And to be firm and patient. Right? Throughout all periods of public panic. Allah says, such are the people of truth, the God-fearing. So, when Allah says, the most honor to you in the sight of Allah is he who's the most righteous. Those who fulfill those things right there that we just recited. That's the most righteous of you. So it's Ramadan now, and we want to deal with 3 qualities that can build up our character and our conduct if it's practiced on a regular basis. One of them is this. Stop backbiting. Decline it. Stop talking about people how they back. Your brothers, basically, because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, when he was sitting among his companions, right? He said, do you know what backbiting is? They said, Allah and his messenger know best. He said, backbiting is to talk about your brother that if he was present, he won't like it. They said, O Messenger of Allah, what did we say about him, talk about him, and it's true what we're saying. He said, if what you said about him is true, then you have indeed backbited him. And he said also, If what you said is false, then you have slandered him. You have spoken falsehood. That's what backbiting is. But there are, in the hadith, certain times where you can backbite. There are certain times. I'm going to let you do the research on that. Number 2. Don't get angry no matter what, except when it's necessary to do so. Now, that's hard. Imam W.D. Muhammad rahimahullah said, anger has been likened to a wild horse. Now, you can imagine in your mind a wild horse. Anger has been likened to a wild horse. This is what Imam Muhammad said. He said it is the most difficult thing to control. But he said we will never be successful until we learn to control our anger. And that is the key. This is what he said. Exact words. Anger, man, get a lot of us in trouble, man, and cause, we come out, because we dealing with people who are creatures of influence and they affected by word. We heard that old saying, right? That sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt. That's a lie. That's a lie. People affected by what you say. They're affected by what you say. So, let's try to control our anger, and that'll help build up our character and our conduct. And number 3, if we have nothing good to say, remain silent. The Messenger of Allah said, if you had nothing good to say, then remain silent. We'll find, right, by remaining silent, if you don't have nothing good to say, will help you in many, many situations, because you'll receive more by not doing a bunch of this. By not doing a bunch of this. But now, if you remain silent for too long, right, that means that you need to change your thinking. Because you're being silent, that means you really don't have nothing to say. You don't got nothing to say. So you should be learning how to think positive. So when you talk, you have more good things to say. Then you can go ahead and talk. As long as you're talking and your intentions is for good, it's cool. But you just talking just to be gossiping, backbiting, slandering, and that's what's un-Islamic. So these are the 3 qualities that if we tighten up, it will help us, and especially in this month of Ramadan. Because I'm going to tell you, I done been in some situations. I had a guy, he did a dastardly deed to me some years ago. He was working for me. He worked for me about 2.5 years, right? He did a dastardly deed. He stole something. Let's put it plain. He stole something out the truck. Something that I worked hard for, man, to make my job more easy. He stole it. Because when he got out the truck, he changed his clothes. He didn't lock the door. He didn't lock the door. So he got in there. He came back, and I was coming down the street. One of my workers was still with me. I'm coming down the street. I seen him. His clothes were just, I said, well, damn. He must have went to my truck. So I hauled butt to my truck, man. I went in there. I had a towel over something. I had my tool right there. Because them 2 guys, they changed in the truck. They didn't lock the door. I should have checked to make sure that door was locked. He would never been able to get me for that tool. So he stole the tool. I went there. I looked under the towel. I went back. He was gone. I went to look for him. I said, yo, man, I called him. I ain't going to say his name. I called him. I said, yo, man, where you at, man? I'm ready to do some damage, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I worked hard for that, too. So I said, now this was one of the substance abuse. I said, well, where you at, man? I said, Dig, man, I got a job, right? I got a job. It's paying like $300. He knew I was, he could peek through it. He knew I was blind. You know what I'm saying? I said, I got a job, man. I want to, I want to see you, man. Where you at, right? He said, well, I'm on such street. He said, I'll be right there, man. I'll pick you up so we go get this money, right? But when I got there, I was getting ready to do him dirty. You know what I'm saying? But I got there, he was gone. I didn't see the joker for about at least 5 or 6 days. Now I'm running around, you know what I'm saying? May Allah forgive me, I'm running around, I'm going to get this guy. Now I can't even do nothing because something happened to him, man. This won't be back on me. It's coming back on me. I'm dealing with real. I'm talking to real people, so I'm talking real. You see? Because we can relate. So, man, I just lost the thought. Train of thought. But what I'm saying is this. With the last part I was saying is this. If we don't have nothing good to say, remain silent. You know. Oh, I know what I'm saying. The other day, right, we was in the truck, and we was going to get some money. We stopped by a spot and picked up some stuff from one guy. I hit him off where he didn't see it. I put the money in his pocket, right? He didn't see it. So I came from the dump. I gave him a few dollars. I already gave him a couple dollars, man, to get off of E in the beginning when he first saw me. So he said some bull crap in the trap to me, disrespectful. And I remained silent. I practiced what I'm telling you now. I remained silent. I didn't say nothing back to him. But what I did, I took him, I called another worker. He said, yeah, I want to make some money. So when I called him, and when I called him, I went to pick him up. When I went to pick him up, I said, yo, man, you taking this dude place because he disrespecting us. He said, yo, you want me to F him up? I said, nah, don't do that, bro. Don't do that like that. Sometimes I regret that I said that, man, you know. But I said, nah. I took the dude back home, and, you know, that's it. That was over. I would never deal with that dude ever again because he's a scumbag, for real. I would never deal with him again. You know? I done gave him 2 chances, man. And you know, he done messed up. And you trying to disrespect me and I'll be feeding you? For 6 months, you been eating good off of me? You don't have no money but lip balls in your pocket, and I'm feeding you. And then you're going to disrespect me, trying to show off with somebody you grew up with, you know? You didn't even know that guy, the way he look at me, is totally different than the way you look at me. And I feed you. He used to work for me, had no problems with him. So he don't even want to mess with him no more. So when we don't have nothing good to say, man, and sometimes we remain silent. That's why I remain silent, because I didn't have nothing good to say after you disrespect me. And I'm fasting too. I pray Allah that anything I said that's good, you retain it. Anything I said that I made a mistake, may Allah cause you to forget it. I greet you as I came in the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.